Okay, we're starting now.
This is your visual gag. Good thing we can see your visual gag in 4K.
Throw gang. You're joined by the Governor Gatherings, Warren Schlossman, and myself, the Emirate of Events, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly running of the boys with today's full episode only available on patreon.com/throwingfits. Lawrence, how has your New York Fashion Week been?
My brain doesn't feel like it exists.
It's on sicko mode. All right. Before we get into Astro World Fallout, fake New York Fashion Week. Damn it, I fucking fucked up already. And Whiskey Dick. Let's get into a fit check.
Why don't you lead us off, bro?
All right, upstairs I was wearing Arla Gache pony hair camion mules.
Yeah.
Manresa socks. Shout out Manresa Manufacturing. Tory Van Thompson Dickies, which after this month, full on month of decadence and not working out, definitely a little tight.
It's funny you mentioned that because I got a little hack on these vintage jeans that solves that problem. But
you undo the button and then keep the belt buckle?
I'll talk about my moment of fat guy genius, or a great moment of fat guy genius when it's time. But I feel you, dude. I've been a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Since even before we went to Italy.
Well, Italy was 10 days of just
no
absurd
vegetables.
meals, no vegetables, zero vegetables. And then I stayed a little longer, straight to Thanksgiving, which is just gluttony.
Yeah.
Straight into, we'll talk about this, but it's just been the busiest social calendar in definitely at least 2 years.
I hate it, bro.
All right, I got Fantasy Explosion, New York City tee on. Yo, I love this back graphic. Let me turn around for the fucking...
Oh, yeah, it's really good. It's like a pixelated Statue of Liberty in that good blue.
Before I got my New York tattoo here, when I was a kid, I was like, damn, I kind of want a outline of the Statue of Liberty on my ribs.
That'll go.
Glad I didn't get that.
That'll go real well with your UFC career, dude. Jesus Christ. Wait, you didn't want to wear your embroidery? I thought
No.
You don't want to tell everyone about the swastika embroidery business you got going?
Well,
do you ever watch Reno 911?
I used to.
Do you remember the episode?
There's a movie coming out.
There's there is?
Where they're on a Q cruise ship.
Oh, that's incredible. Are they as cops on the cruise
I don't know.
ship,
I'm sure they're undercover or whatever.
There's this great early episode where, do you remember the character Big Mike? He's just like a ratchet hillbilly type guy.
Okay.
But he's having a yard sale, and the cops get called because he's selling a giant Nazi flag. And then the solution to them ultimately getting him to take it down is they have to buy it from the yard sale. So he goes, and the cops bought a Nazi flag today. That's what I just thought about with you. Your embroidery. So the embroidery business, what happened
I had a little DIY moment where...
Etsy head ass motherfucker.
Yeah, where it started out where I would just take... This is my fucking Virgil shit, man. I would take an image and put it on a T-shirt. I don't know when this was, but the first one I did... it might have been early Complex days, or it might have been when you were at Complex, but I wasn't there just yet. And I put Raph Simmons, his last show at
yes,
Jill Sander or Dior?
That was Dior.
Dior, where he's giving the heart
right
to his fucking besties. You can put that on the Zood board.
Yep.
Slapped that on a shirt. Everyone wanted it, and everyone's like, "Yo, sell these." I did Rick Owens,
the lifting shirt,
fucking
lifting, which was
curl,
which was Rick approved.
Rick has approved it. Shout out Chris Wallace. Thank you for
you did the.
Rick.
We've talked about this. Well, we've talked about.
I should
all
send
this
one
before.
to Tyrone Sussman.
Yeah, you should. The Sussman himself. We've talked a lot about because you did the I Feel Like Shit shirt at the height of the Pablo craze.
Yeah, I should have fucking.
Wait, so you were hand embroidering shirts?
Yeah, I forget
because these are all screen printed things we've just mentioned.
This is before. What's the one? There's brands now that they'll take the Nike swoosh and they'll put flowers on it. And shit.
Yeah.
There's one big one that they actually I think got a sneaker collab.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Nike.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but yeah, it's a vibe.
So I got a little embroidery kit off Etsy, I believe, or Amazon, and I made 2 shirts.
Okay.
One of them
let's go through.
One of them just says "All my friends are dead," on the titty
for the EXO Tour Life.
Tour Life, yeah. So what was that? 2016?
I don't remember.
Whatever.
It looks so bad.
Yeah, it's been through the fucking wash a million times. It's just a bumming around the house.
No, but I just mean the wash wouldn't affect your penmanship, whatever the term is.
It's intentionally bad. I'm on my Jim Joe shit.
You don't have the technology or the steady hand to pull this off.
I'm not trying to make perfect fucking Helvetica letter typing.
This seems like a very convenient excuse. You're on
well,
Jim Joe shit. Okay.
Then because I was freehanding it, unfortunately, I tried to do in 2016. there was a just a graphic like people posted where it was like 45, but it was like tilted, so it looked like a swastika with a verboten sign around it.
Yeah,
and,
very much from the NOAA School of Graphic Design.
I tried to make one of those, but it ended up just looking like a fucking swastika. Just a black and red swastika. So that
James wore a Nazi tee today.
I had to unpick that real quick. Outside, I had the Barracuda Needles.
So fire.
Paisley jacket.
I feel like people slept on that. It's also like 900.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Thank you, Chris Corrado, for actually giving that.
That's like the best flex, like to see the homie in a showroom and just be like, "Oh yeah, do you want?" And him being like, "You want these samples?" And it's like, yes.
So
please.
I didn't really see this collaboration. This is a fairly recent.
You know why? Right? Real quick, Needles is so bad with social media, bro.
Yeah.
Nepenthes, all the brands, like having an Instagram for every store, but like not having then a centralized Instagram for the brand. You know,
that's why you have South to West State posting like new EG.
Yeah,
and like Needles posting South like AIE.
I think we've talked about this once before, but it definitely seems like this. It's a Japanese, almost specific way of social media management that's like very different than what American brands or even European brands do.
This is kind of crazy, and I'm sure that people are going to be like, "Oh, you're wrong," but like web aesthetic in Japan is a lot more. You would think it's like fucking cutting edge,
right.
like web. Whatever, like beyond
aesthetically, the metaverse, dude.
Aesthetically, way beyond like what we have going on here. But it's actually kind of like janky and old fashioned.
Yeah, is that? Do you think that's a deliberate choice, or is that like just a weird holdover
Probably
from an older?
Definitely when I'm in Japan and I'm like trying to like figure out. Well, now you just look it up on Google, but it was like always really hard to find out if a store is open.
Yeah.
Or like what their hours were. And they kind of made it so that you had to like actually go to the store.
Right.
Which in some ways
is
I get
good. I get that. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so like their shit is not centralized. It's like South to West State Sapporo official.
Yeah, exactly.
The fucking New York Nepenthes was run off a Tumblr for the longest time. Up until somewhat recently.
Yeah.
So you'd be like shopping off a Tumblr,
yeah,
bro.
off Tumblr. Yeah. Well, you can't even like buy. You couldn't buy anything. It was like you had to call.
Copping pockets off the Tumblr store.
Yeah.
Where were we? Oh yeah, Barracuda Needles. So I saw it and I forwarded to Chris Corrado, who reps Barracuda, and I was like, "Yo, let me get one." He's like, "I got you," and that was like months ago or a few weeks ago.
And you never got it.
And then we went to the office this past Monday, and I was like, "Oh, is this for me?" He's like, "Yeah, you can have it." And then you're like, "Can I have one too?" And
I don't know if anyone's looking for like a big Christmas gift to fucking send to Santa. I'm sure you can still get these, right? I don't think they. I mean, it's just I mean, Barracudas are expensive. Like, people forget that, like, that shit is, like, even if it feels like a little bit of, like, a hashtag mensweary, like, 1.0 type shit, it's not cheap, but these joints
are
are
$9.50 on Mr. Porter.
Wowzers. But they slap.
Yes. And I've been wearing mine in the fucking cold, just layering, like, like Arc'teryx underneath it, or just, like, a heavy sweater.
If you live somewhere...
It's not a winter coat.
Yeah, no. If you live somewhere and it's like, the coldest it gets is like, I don't know, fucking high 40s, low 50s, like this is your go-to. I could not recommend it more highly.
They also did the EG, like the faux, like, what is it, leopard or
We also
cheetah?
got those, yeah.
Just another fucking Jimmy and Larry John that we have to text like, "Hey, are you wearing this tonight?"
Well, we have different patterns on this one.
Yeah, but if we showed up wearing fucking Paisley boys, like, yeah, it would have looked kind of whack.
Helly Hansen hat.
No, it's the G9.
Yeah, well, that's the Barracuda style that like Steve McQueen wore.
Shout out Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, Helly Hansen hat.
Helly Hansen hat, which I will single-handedly will Helly Hansen back into relevancy if I do say so myself.
Do you think they're irrelevant right now? I feel like they're kind of. I mean, Helly Hansen.
Well, this is Helly Hansen Japan, and I got this like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like North Face, where like whoever owns the Helly Hansen license in Japan is like designing shit that's like Japan only.
Sure.
And it's not like crazy, both price wise or in terms of like, blowing dicks off.
How much was that hat?
I literally bought this like 8 years ago.
Damn, ahead of the curve, man.
Well, I don't throw shit out.
Yeah.
And I think like once
didn't you just like uncover that like a couple weeks ago or something too?
Well, it's like a winter hat. It's like a wool.
We were talking about Helly Hansen with someone on like a work call, and then you were like reminded to get it, right? Or that you had it?
With a guest where I don't know if we're behind the paywall yet, so we're not going to give up who it is just yet. It's not Big Boy because we already did him, and it was fucking legendary. And then the panties are Hanes boxers. What about yourself?
I wore
drinking water because it's been a week.
Yeah, fucking no more booze for me, at least until tonight. I wore camion boots to the crib. I had on as well my CP Company barber. A lot of potential jawnz of the year. I can't wait for us to do our little wrap up.
It's been a good year.
I was taking inventory, and I'm like, damn, there's at least like 5 things that I've worn so much this year being back outside that I could easily, make
honestly,
my John of the Year.
Barracuda Needles, obviously recency bias. It might be
really
running for personal John of the Year.
You did get the best pattern, but I guess like that's what I would have gone.
I put in the
for.
legwork.
No, I understand that, so I'm saying like,
yo, let me get this.
Yeah, let me get that. I also wore an old John that has come back to my life in a big way since at least we've been in Milano. Is my Drake scarf. I've been wearing that a fucking lot.
Yeah, you do wear like a fucking little Mary.
Yo, speaking of which, with all of the fucking best friends,
you wear it like a sus man.
With all of our best friends as my witness, are you gonna stand by your offer, which is that you were gonna give me yours since you never wear your Drake scarf?
Did I say that?
You did. You don't remember this? I asked you, and you said you would. You're never gonna wear it. It's not you.
I'm trying to think if you've given me something.
What besides besides like my heart and my soul and my blood and my sweat and my tears?
You can have the fucking scarf.
Hell yeah, dude! You guys all heard it here. I'm taking it home tonight, baby.
Larry and the Silky.
Okay, so all right, vintage Levi's 501s, great moments in Fat Guy Genius. So I've talked about this on social, but never on pod. Whoever owned these before added an extendo clip extra button on the waistband so you can go from a 33 to a 34. So it's coming in super handy since, we've been living like straight fucking degenerates.
Living La Vida Loca.
So you might want to think about installing a little extendo.
Corey Van Thompson, if you're listening, which I think you are.
Yo, Fat Guy Genius is so underrated. Like, you fuck
what
with.
What else is there?
You fuck with. Well, there's so many. Like,
I'm new to being fat. So like, what do I need to know?
No, I'm just thinking like, imagine the first guy who invented dipping grilled cheese in tomato soup. Oh. That's Fat Guy Genius.
Well, on the show The Dinosaurs, they showed how like somebody accidentally dropped their chocolate into the peanut butter.
And that was how
I'm the baby.
Yeah.
I'm the baby.
That was a crazy show. Was it called The Dinosaurs?
I think it was just called.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like people in suits, like the dinosaur. It's like the Flintstones, but live
you
action.
Know how it ended?
The dinos.
I don't know. You know how it ended?
How?
It ended with humans. Or no, it ended with dinosaurs, like the logging company accidentally starting the ice age through climate change. And this was a show in like the 90s.
Really?
And then it killed all the dinosaurs. That's how the dinosaurs died. And then you saw like human, like cavemen, like grunting in the bushes.
It's just called Dinosaurs. 4 seasons. Premiered in 91. ABC. This shit was a slapper, bro.
I think there was a crossover with Family Matters.
What?
How? I think like
a time machine?
I think like Urkel went back in time and fucking stepped on a butterfly or something. I don't know, bro.
Yo, everyone at home, if you're looking for a show to binge, see if you can stream Dinosaurs.
I did go a whole summer where Family Matters was my show.
Did it hold up?
Bro, so this is my schedule. I worked 2 jobs this summer. I was a barback at a Asian fusion lounge on Spring Street, which no longer exists. I think it's a sweet.
Wait, where on Spring Street?
You know what's the fucking Irish bar like O'Flannery's?
Well, Soho Room was
It's on the same street as Spring Lounge, so I think it's between Bowery and Mulberry.
Gotcha.
Or Mulberry and Mott.
Damn, it was an Asian fusion lounge.
Yeah, it was called Sui, which is Japanese for water. No Japanese people work there. First time working at a bar.
You?
Yeah, true. I had to wear all black. It was terrible. I almost got fired because I refused to clean up somebody's vomit. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, no, it was like nasty. It was a nasty, nasty place. But I was like, it was expensive because it was just a fucking Asian fusion lounge in Soho, while like bussing people's like food back if they hadn't like touched the sushi
bussing
roll.
People's vomit.
I would eat their sushi.
Hell yeah, dude.
And like eat their fries. Like it was rough, bro.
I once got kicked out of a diner for I was so drunk. This is back in Jersey, but I went to like another table and was eating someone's like disco fries that they had like left.
But so we would close at 1 or 2. We would like clean up to like 2 or 3.
But you would eat the scraps that you're supposed to be throwing away.
Yes.
Was there no staff meal situation? I guess
there was, but it was kind of always whatever, and it was like not enough, and also like I'm working.
Did you get in trouble for doing it?
Bringing up bags of ice, like bringing up fucking boxes of liquor.
Because you can't listen. If I got kicked out of a diner, you can't do it as a customer. You definitely can't do it as staff.
I never got caught. I don't know if you're not allowed to or not. So we'd finish cleaning like
got
2 or 3.
Sushi rolls in your pockets.
And me and the bartender, and he would like let me. He would like finally. We could play like terrible like fucking Asian lounge music.
What is that even?
Like Zen,
sure.
like Enya, New Age type shit.
Flute music.
He'd finally like let me play rap, and then we'd go across the street to this Irish bar that was like crazy, and do Irish car bombs until 4 or 5 in the morning because as a hospitality worker or service industry worker, you know, you bond with the staff like that.
Sure, okay.
So they'd let us chill until like 5 till they were done. Then I'd go home. I'd sleep like 4 hours. No, wait. I'd sleep like 4 hours. I'd go work at Sunrise Mart delivering groceries in a van. Like probably still fucking drunk, driving around the city, delivering groceries to like Japanese families and like weird white guys that would like answer the door in their bathrobes thinking it was like a...
Oh, like some Asian woman was going to be delivering it?
Yeah, exactly. Some fucking otakus.
Real New York shit.
Yeah. Damn, I wish I'd seen, you know, Jelani.
Yeah, right?
And then come home, get a sandwich from the deli, watch Family Matters, take a nap, go to the bar.
That is a depressing
That was my entire
existence.
summer. Made so much money.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I was living with my parents.
Sure.
Not spending any, and I would get all my meals for free.
Family Matters?
Because it was on at like 3 p.m. when I like got home.
Was streaming even invented yet?
No.
Right.
This was like 2005.
Damn, okay, so now that makes more sense. You had limited options.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Fit check. Yeah, I'm wearing an 18 East Western shirt.
This is new?
I don't know. I've had it, but I guess it came out like a couple drops ago.
Okay. It has... The fading is very prominent in like the shadow.
Yeah,
the shadowy here.
I guess people won't see in the fit pic. I guess in the video. Yeah, it's I like the wash. It's you know, when you do a Canadian tuxedo like I'm doing today, there's kind of like two modes. One is you lean into the skid, and you can match the washes, and I've done that before. Or you can kind of like break it up, and I like this. It's a little bit of a darker wash, but I get what you're saying. It's like kind of like milky streaks.
It looks like you've been fucking lactating.
Yeah. Maybe
is that something as a new fat guy? Is that something you have to worry about?
Yeah, that's a potential occupational hazard, being a fat piece of shit. I have on I have John Elliott socks, white rodeo hat, Supreme Hanes underwear, Rolly wedding ring.
New York Adorn
on the lobe. Drinking water.
All right, real quick. Let's just talk about how this week is Big Boy Week.
Or was Big Boy Week.
Well, no, because it's still Friday.
I guess you're right.
3 days ago, the Big Boy episode came out. 2 days ago, the Afters came out. The reception has been fucking crazy. And I don't even think like the people like congratulating us have even necessarily listened to it. I think they just fucking love to see. I mean, they probably know that we are Outkast fans, that you're a fucking Outkast stan.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just been great to like hear everyone not just be like, whether it's just like, yo, congratulations, which is like a weird thing to say, but also just like, yo, the questions you asked were fucking amazing. Like the conversation was so good. I can't believe he was clearly like having a great time.
Yeah, for sure.
So shout out to everyone who told us just, I don't know.
Whether you tuned in or not, but definitely
tuned
tuned in. No, I guess I honestly.
And now available on YouTube.
Yeah. I guess to be honest, was a little surprised. I think that, our personal fandom and even mine, like aside, part of me is like, okay, well, Big Boy is not like scorching hot like a Uzi is, or like, Cardi or someone like that, is making waves from a different generation. With that said, he's an unimpeachable legend, but I guess I was kind of blown away based on the reception. So shout out to everyone who had good things to say and appreciated the fucking content.
And we go from a amazing fucking eloquent legendary rapper to somebody that is legendary. Probably now,
he's
infamous, notorious. History will remember this man
as a murderer.
They will not be able to separate
as a Satan worshiping murderer
this man from his fucking crimes. Travis Scott today put out the first post Astro World interview with Charlemagne the God, the eyeliner God.
Oh, you're convinced he wears makeup?
Absolutely. I spent a day with him in Atlanta.
Did you see him apply eyeliner?
He got off the plane wearing he had like crazy eyeliner on.
Like guy liner.
Yeah.
Like looking like
either
the
that
fifth
or
member
like
Fallout Boy.
He's a handsome man and he has like beautiful
Is
lashes. He? Yeah, I think he's handsome. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't think he's like hot.
All right.
Do you think he's better looking than Travis Scott?
No. In some ways.
His eyes.
He kind of looks like... You watch The Mummy with Brendan Fraser?
Of course.
He kind of has like a bit of like the Mummy. That look going.
Brendan Fraser, speaking of hot fucking dudes, god damn.
Piece of ass.
All right. Wait, so Charlemagne's looks aside. Wait, okay.
This hot motherfucker drove out to Calabasas.
By the way, that is I don't think anyone has ever said that. I don't think anyone is like,
that Charlemagne's hot?
That Charlemagne is like, like some sex symbol.
I'm not saying sex symbol.
Of urban radio.
He looks fucking good.
All right. How old is he? Is he old?
Probably in his 40s. I mean, he definitely moisturizes.
Yeah, I mean, he has great skin. I mean, that's some rich
great
guy shit.
eyes, great
anyway,
eyelashes.
do you think? Okay, how about that? Do you think he's a good interviewer?
Oh on the Breakfast Club, I really appreciate that he'll just be like, whatever, like DJ, whatever, and the woman will just be like, "Oh, how you doing? Like, oh, like how's the album coming along?" And then like Kodak Black is like, whatever, and then Charlamagne's just like, "Yo, you eat pussy?"
yeah.
Or like, "Yo, Logic, what? You shouldn't be allowed to say the N-word."
Which
Remember
honestly, I like that take. That's
he made Logic retire, bro.
Yo, so then maybe he is a personal hero of mine. I never found him funny when he did like the talking, and I don't think he was ever considered himself a comedian, but he used to do like the talking head shit on MTV2, and like Deeson Mero and other comedians like would fucking kill it, and I would always be like, oh, this is like the worst guy. I don't think any of his jokes are funny or any of like his takes are insightful or hot or whatever. With that said, I guess he's a little bit of a better radio personality, but like this, he was chosen deliberately to just lob meatballs down the middle.
No, for sure. Like it was definitely worked out with the team ahead of time.
Like all the questions, right?
Because this wasn't like what was this? What YouTube channel was this even on? Oh, it was on his shit.
Travis Scott?
No, See the God.
Oh, okay.
So
it's an exclusive for See the God.
Yeah.
Whoever is on Travis Scott's team, this man needs to never speak, like at all.
All right, so this is the first time I've ever heard Travis Scott's voice.
Not an auto-tune.
Not an auto-tune. I was kind of like thrown. I was like, damn, yo, it would have been fire if he like auto-tuned this interview. Someone should take this interview, whatever like the big like standout line is where he's like, I'm a man of God, first things first, like put some fucking auto-tune on that.
First things first, I'm a man of God, and that's that. We're not following it up with anything.
This interview was...
This is insane that they put this out. This is insane.
Well, first of all, I've only watched like 30 minutes of the 50-minute
I'm surprised you
interview.
even watched 5 minutes versus just reading the poll quotes.
Well, yeah, but like the poll quotes were basically that he said nothing, this is kind of similar to what when Alex Trebek went on, and I watched this TikTok where this lawyer was breaking down how Alex Trebek was clearly implementing his legal team's advice and was like narrowing the responsibility.
What was the controversy?
When he fucking what? Wait, am I saying Trebek? I said Baldwin. Alec Baldwin.
You said Alec Trebek, so I thought you were saying you meant Alex Trebek, but you were just fucking. I was letting you rock. Oh, Alec Baldwin. Oh,
he killed somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Fellow murderer.
Yeah.
So she was like, the lawyer was like breaking it down, and she's basically like, look, he's saying that it's one person's fault,
right?
But that person is not him, and he clearly is like has like certain lines that he has to repeat and get into the minds of all the viewers watching it, and.
You're hammering home canned responses so that, one, like you can try to move past the controversy in terms of like public relations, but then also so that you don't get got in a court of law.
I guess so, but with Travis Scott, it's really just like,
he says nothing.
Why did you do this? He says a whole lot of nothing. It's all like, like he literally says something happened.
Yeah.
You can say about anything in the whole fucking world, something happened.
This was a tough one. I mean, I think everyone at home knows how we feel about Travis Scott. The thing that... And I'm not trying to be like an asshole here. This is obviously like a big fucking controversy and like a ton of people fucking tragically lost their lives. But like this dude is an idiot. He like, and this is coming from someone who like spent
not in relation to this event. Just
generally
overall.
speaking. Like obviously, like the appeal is lost on us as olds. Like, sure, we could fucking throw that out there, like in terms of like the music, but like as like a human being, there is not someone personally that I can think of that is more shallow. Like, even if you think Kanye's insane or you think Drake is a fucking cornball, like at least there is some depth, whether you like it or not. This man is completely a surface level guy.
Yeah,
there is what is going even on upstairs.
It's all image,
and this is coming from two fucking hungover, brain dead pieces of shit who could barely do this as for a living, but like he's the worst.
He's a marketing vessel. There's a reason why he doesn't give like prolific interviews or do press, because like you can project whatever you want onto him.
Every
right?
profile and every interview to me is like comical, and this is the one time where like it's not. Now it's not funny because this like
it's kind of funny.
I mean, it is. Everything's funny, but I just can't. I'm surprised they didn't just they let him do this. Like it really is crazy to me.
It like what. Charlamagne asked him, like, what
I would
do you
say
hope to accomplish with this interview today, and he said a whole lot of fucking
deflect
whatevers.
all blame.
Yeah, exactly. Not answer these questions. The question I have for you, good sir.
Oh God,
this is what I was watching. This is what I was thinking in my head the whole time watching this. Is that why is this man trying to get a fit off, or did he get a fit off?
I don't know. This is like I will say I like Travis's fashion. I really do. I think the one thing, not like I want to wear the collabs and all of the merch. Obviously,
Cactus Jack Dior.
I would never,
big rip.
Yo,
that's never coming out, right?
See ya.
That's never coming out.
It's got to. Well, if it comes out, it would be for charity. I would imagine that. Knowing like the policies of the big fashion houses, I wouldn't be surprised if that's on a rooftop getting burned right now, like 100%. Like on some Burberry shit.
Or if they're so fucking clueless because it is like the fashion houses that they're just gonna like drop it tomorrow.
I don't know. I think that if
it's gonna be like, please cop, hey Ragers, what's all the rage? Cactus Jack Dior.
I got to think that there could be a charitable element that could maybe like save that drop. But I guess my point is I do appreciate.
Well, it's not going to go to the funerals of the families.
No, I appreciate Travis's personal style. That's what I'm trying to say.
Charlemagne asked him. He's like, "Yo, like, how does it make you feel that the families like? There's no way that this was like pre-approved by Travis's team." When he's like, "How does it make you feel that the families are like rejecting your offer to pay for the funerals?"
What did he say?
He's like, "Oh, I just want them to know that I'm here for them whenever, and I just want to hold them because they're my family." And it's like,
yo, hold me. Let me hold the Billy, dude. Yeah. He's gonna sue for $10 billion.
10?
10 billion is the current lawsuit.
Well, that's just fucking litigious.
All right, so is he trying to get a fit
Vulture ass lawyers.
Yes, as a guy who, like we're saying, is a shallow corporate vessel for fucking fashion amongst many other things. I think yes, he's very conscious of his image. So clearly, like this is speaking of Canadian tuxedos, this is like the subdued Travis like casual fit. I know the belt bothered you a lot.
Bro, the belt is hanging down like a fucking anaconda between his legs, like a big old purple dick.
It's a cool belt. It's kind of like, do you remember like when like knit belts were kind of like a thing? I had one of those.
No,
like
I feel like I'm looking at myself in
seventh. Shit.
I feel like I'm looking at myself in seventh grade when I'm like at the principal's office with my fucking dumb skater belt like hanging down my thigh. My thing is just like.
He didn't need the belt. I say outside the belt, I think this is actually like as acceptable. Was he supposed to wear a suit, right? Like,
well. I mean, when you're giving an interview like this...
He's wearing jewelry, which is like a little...
It's pretty subdued.
A little splashy.
When you're giving an interview like this where all you're trying to do is like express, contrition and like apologize.
Potentially accept blame in a legally acceptable way.
Although he does fucking do what everyone does now. And he's like, I blame the media. Or he's like, the media's like portraying me unfairly.
Which, I don't know.
Are we? Yes, we are.
I was going to say, he's not necessarily wrong. I mean, the media is fucking terrible, but...
It is like, okay, the fit you want to wear is something like somber, not call like generally speaking.
If you wore like all black, people would be like, bro,
well,
like it's
like he's
like a funeral. Yeah, come on. So this is why
you should have worn all black. You should not have worn a suit. But this is like a little flashier or a little more casual. Or a little more intentional.
Too casual for the occasion. I would say that this
belt is like a fucking.
The belt was
can't not look at it.
The belt and the jewelry is a bit much. I would say this just proves that it's like a lose-lose. Not that I think anyone besides us would be critiquing the fit he wore when he's fucking fake or half apologizing, but like it just proves the point that this is a bad idea. Put out a fucking pre-written statement done by professionals and fucking keep it pushing.
Yeah.
This was not the move, bro.
This just came out, so I wonder like the what the kind of the ripple effect follow.
I mean, you already like can see that the critique here is that he said nothing because he has nothing to say because he has no real remorse.
But then Charlemagne is like, raging is a part of the culture of your shows, and you call like your fans the Ragers, and you encourage them to rage. Like, is there harm in that? And he's like, well, like rage doesn't mean harm. Like rage also means like loving everyone near you and like making sure everyone's having the best experience possible.
Based on what definition? His own? Like
exactly.
On,
and then he's like, I don't like condone violence in my lyrics. The violence in my lyrics is kind of just describing what my fans do.
Right.
So he's like,
he's blaming the fans.
Now?
Yeah, he's blaming the fans.
I don't fucking know.
Bro. I will say that I think that I was more apologetic in my own mind, like thinking that Trav was being treated a bit unfairly, but this now just is like, this only makes him seem so fucking guilty, dude.
I know.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. Moving on to another big rap concert. Kanye, Drake, Free Larry Hoover, presented by Amazon.
Live streaming.
Which unfortunately is coming out tonight, so we can't talk about it. We can only speculate about the disaster that this is going to be. We're like, have you ever watched like I guess like during lockdown, like did you like watch besides our own live?
Honestly,
shit?
Dude, this is a new phenomenon for me, tapping into all of Kanye's live streams for like the listening
shit.
But I would I know you paid for some digital Future Islands, your favorite band, like you watched some fucking
show,
and then I
forgot it, and then I couldn't make it or something.
Were they like tickets are cheaper for that kind of stuff, right?
I think it was like $10.
Okay. I guess we did. It's kind of like what we did with Frequency. Yeah. This will be.
Will it suck?
All right. I want it to be really good, but the more I was thinking about, well, okay, first of all, Kanye with special guest Drake, which is how it's being marketed now, is different than like Kanye x Drake, right?
Yeah.
And I know that there was some video that you showed me of Drake singing the singing 24 that's on Donda.
Terrible fit.
Yeah, absolutely horrendous. So like maybe there'll be some fun integration, but like I really like thought about it because I was excited, and Wolf like bought tickets, and you know, like he was telling me like how excited he is to go. But I'm like, they have no songs together, right? There's Forever, which is, if anything, now it's like a meme song because of Eminem, right? There he goes. About
to go Pinocchio with his nose.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, outro music Forever, and then obviously the pop style.
Is that a Wayne song or a Drake song?
Was on
Kanye song.
No, it's on Thank Me Later. You're right. Wayne is on that. Eminem is on that. Ye is on that. Drake's on that. That was like the first big, I guess, best I ever had. I don't know if that was before or after. Either way. Then they also have Pop Style, which was Jay-Z and Ye and Drake, and that was the version that didn't even make it onto Views. And first of all, that song sucks. So I'm like, what? How are they going to interact? It's not like Watch the Throne, which is maybe the best concert you and I have ever seen together. Also, like, it's not that.
Their two styles of music are so like separate at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Kanye's just doing fucking like Howling at the Moon.
Sure.
And then Drake is just like jumping up and down like while singing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the fits are going to be horrendous.
Sure. Oh, the crowd will be, the people watching will be fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only kind of thing that
we need a drip cam, bro. We need the Knicks to bring the drip cam to fucking Staples Center.
The skip cam.
Wait, is this in the crypto arena or whatever it's called now? Crypto.com?
I don't know.
This is in LA, right? It's in LA.
Yeah.
It's got
Is that the crypto arena?
Yeah, the crypto.com arena, dude.
Are
you going to watch it?
No, it's going to be on too late. 11 p.m. Eastern.
And it might not even start at 11
Fuck
p.m.
no.
I'm going to watch it.
I'd rather run back Bone Thugs versus 360.
Oh, my God, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude.
Busy Bone bit Swizz Beats.
That just proves that that's the verses everyone that's what we want, bro.
Yo.
We want Smack DVD. We talked about this with Hugo, dude. This is what people want.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say that it's bizarre to me that based on that one leak, Drake would be entertaining some type of scenario where he plays supporting actor or second fiddle to Ye as like the guest. Even though they reconciled, if I'm Drake, I still am like, I'm bigger than you. Like at least right now in 2021.
So it's at La Memorial Coliseum. It's at the Coliseum.
Okay.
Is it LA Memorial or La Memorial?
I don't know, dude. It's at fucking NFT Coliseum, dude.
It's at hashtag Free Larry Hoover Stadium.
Yeah, do you think this will
Free Larry Hoover? No.
I was gonna say make any impact. They're just donating ticket sales.
I don't fucking know. There will be.
I thought you were into political activism.
This might I gave that up with my embroidery. This will be the first time, most likely, I assume, that we hear from Kanye speaking about Virgil.
Oh, right, sure.
Like, that'll be.
Well, I guess he did the Sunday service, and then everyone was at the memorial that happened in Chicago.
Oh, that some fucking narc filmed and posted, and then like, yo.
Oh, like the Tyler crying and all that. Yeah.
Oh, that got posted.
You didn't see that?
I was just like.
Well, Tyler gave a speech and he was like tears up and
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but
I saw it on Instagram. On Hoodville. The Hood's finest, one of those. One of my many news sources.
I'm just very like perplexed that a place like Complex posted like photos that someone snuck at the funeral, and I'm just like, yo, this just caused the BuzzFeed stock to dip, bro.
I mean, yo, content don't fucking sleep, dude. R.I.P. to Big Verge.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll watch and report back. Also, this is one of the things.
Don't post for my funeral.
Also, yeah, but, don't come. While we're at it, don't fucking come. This is one of the things that I'm gonna stay up and watch, and I'm gonna be mad at myself when I just know I can get like tomorrow. I'll just get it all on the timeline, right? But
yeah.
But even though I know that, I'm still gonna.
Because also you're not gonna be watching. It's gonna be on, and you're gonna be on your phone, and then all the best moments are gonna be on Hoodville. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess you're.
Fucking. Yeah. You know, our Rupert Murdoch DJ academics.
Yeah. We'll report back.
Well, we have had quite the fucking week of live activations and events.
Jesus Christ.
This has been arguably the busiest 7 days we together have had.
Of all time.
And this is coming off this is coming off of trips where we're like spending every single meal. I guess that's different when you're spending your downtime together.
Yeah.
And then, it's like work calls. All right, I'll see you tonight at 7.
Mm-hmm.
But it started off with us going after last week's boys only went to the Knicks game.
Yeah, that was fun.
Who the fuck did they play? Oh,
the Bulls.
They got waxed in the first half, and
it was
they came back
embarrassing.
and made it a fucking game in the second half.
But could not fucking close in typical Knickerbocker fashion.
We got shout out Patria.
Yep.
We got the VIP entrance at 4 Penn.
Yo, that's the most like. Okay, I get it. Like being in a box, getting free food, getting free drinks. Like I get like the perks of that. But for me, yo, not having to wait in line to get in the stadium and then get to your seat, and like how we were kind of like ushered in. That's worth the fucking. I know we didn't pay. Shout out Patria, but that would be worth the fucking the sticker price alone.
No, that was pretty good. And also like. I don't think it applies to where we were sitting. I think it's just like you're on like a VIP list.
Oh, so you can even have like nosebleed, but you know someone, they put you on the list. You could just go in regardless.
Yeah, or you could have like fire seats, but not get in to go to
that
this
is
one
the
entrance.
fucking move, dude.
We got a personal escort to our seats. As soon as she showed us to our seats, we're like, all right, we're going to go get food and beers.
Yeah. Yes, we're like, you don't have to like do this.
Where
like,
are the
thank
chicken?
you, but like...
Where is the Mike's Hot chicken tenders?
I will say, like, trying to, like, wrangle... You would think that it would be easy to, like, wrangle stadium food for, like, our little group, but, like, everyone's divergent taste was, like, very bizarre to me. Like, it was almost like you had to, like, step in and be, like, dad because, like, no one could, like, agree or make a decision on, like, what the appropriate kind of spread should be. For like, I have a routine, right?
What's your routine?
We're getting. I'm wetting my whistle with the glizzy off rip, right? Sucking that down easy. Then we're going for like what is going to be the entree. I obviously went with the greasy
pre-beers.
No, beers are the one. That's the one thing we could all agree on. Is like everyone get 2 beers, and then as soon as those are done, get 2 more per person. But after my glizzy amuse bouche, my appetizer,
after bouche has been amused,
I went to you guys went full tenders mode and like trying to get like fancy tenders. I was like, just give me a greasy puck, and that's my main course. And then
I hate stadium burgers.
Oh, dude, but they're the best, man. It was like what you got when we went to Man U. Like it's a part of the experience.
That was disgusting.
Did you finish that? I forget.
Yeah, I was starving.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but so that's I want like that shitty cheeseburger, and then I'm capping everything off in the seat with some popcorn.
I was surprised about the popcorn. Glizzies and chicken tenders for me, and we wanted Mike's. When I saw the Mike's Hot Honey chicken tenders in my mind, I was thinking like
Nashville hot tossed, maybe.
Yeah, like tossed in like a
something fancy,
like a wet tendy.
Wet tender, dude. Yeah, sure.
Episode title: Wet tenders.
Wet tenders.
Or is it new fat guy?
No, fat guy genius. No, it's fat guy genius, dude. Speaking of wet tenders, dude, we got some fucking fat boys on
These
the mic.
aren't very YouTube SEO friendly, but all good.
But they weren't anything.
No, they weren't anything. But you could just get packets of Mike's Hot
Which
Honey.
you could just get and like bring like you
put
don't
on
even
anything.
You don't even need to like they're free. You don't need to like wait in line.
My fingers are covered in sticky ass honey.
Yeah.
We got recognized. That was kind of cool. I didn't actually see that happen.
Yeah, I will say, and shout out to that guy. Yo, it was his 30th birthday too. That was his follow up to him tweeting at us. Was like, his parents put his name on the jumbotron or whatever. Got one of those. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
You're like, yo, post a selfie with the fucking hashtag MSG Friday night or Thursday night.
Once I realized that the drip cam is filmed before the game, the only way for us, the only way for the real fucking drip gods to get any recognition is you got to play ball. You got to post with the hashtag, and you fucking didn't do it.
No, of course not. Would have been embarrassing.
I think you. No, I thought it would have been funny. Anyway, the one thing I'll say about getting recognized, again, shout out that dude and happy belated birthday. I prefer when we're like all four hanging out in like and we're not doing any work, it is kind of like, to me, it's like family time where it's like I want to spend time with you guys. I don't want to have to do like, not that we're getting recognized all the time, but do any of that song and dance. I would much prefer to do that when I'm on my own, and then I could just like,
No, you just want 100% of the adoration.
No. It's I want
25%. You want
the
whole thing.
I could now that I hear myself out loud, I could see how you would maybe say that.
You wanting to talk about getting recognized? I'm like, this sounds very obnoxious, but like, I guess we'll stick it in the run of show.
No, I don't remember that conversation happening. I would just say,
I kept that up here.
But I thought it was a very sweet night. I mean, mainly the funniest thing for me is like Chef is not that we're like jocks, but like,
well,
I mean, we are. But Chef definitely
fat jocks
is fat jocks, former jocks, current fat guy, current fat geniuses, former jocks. Chef doesn't know shit about sports, so I got to really pull out a lot of my like, we need a miracle here, boys.
So the seating arrangement,
this is a sloppy game.
The seating arrangement, which I kind of did not like, was Chuck, Chef, you, me. We're like,
Yeah, originally.
And then I had 2 seats next to me for like mostly the first half. Chuck had 4 toxic Indian males to his left that were just fucking screaming
they were in
bloody murder.
Well, you guys,
game.
there was an ejection. The refs were
Which we
terrible.
missed.
Yeah, you and Chuck missed the ejection, which was fucking awesome. I was happy that Chef got to experience that. Because, again, first time. He's definitely been to a professional sporting event, but it was his first Knicks game, or maybe he had never been to a sporting
He's definitely
event.
been to like an LCD sound system concert at MSG.
Yeah, he's been to MSG, but this might have been his first sporting event. But it was funny.
It was his first Knick game.
Yeah.
He used to go to San Jose Sharks hockey games in California, he was telling me.
San Jose Sharks?
Because he grew up in the fucking Yankees.
No, I know, but like, okay, that's what a weird like way to like be exposed to.
He said that they were
sports.
Sick. He said that they were actually a lot of fun because we were talking about it. I was like, yo, you know what's actually fire live
Maybe they were
is
good. I don't know.
hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey's fire live.
It is fun.
We should hit up the plug for a Rangers game.
Rangers.
And he's like, yeah, I used to go to Sharks games all the time.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, you mean like West Side Story? And he's like, no, like fucking NHL.
Sharks versus the Jets, dude. But no, it was fun to see him like get into it, and it was a very
He
kind of
loved the Knicks City Dancers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Loved.
I mean, who doesn't, dude? I mean, that's one of the greatest shows on earth, right there.
You know they have full-time jobs?
Yeah. Well, Jenna was when Jenna comes
my
to the
God,
pod.
that's right.
She was a Spurs silver dancer and a 2-time NBA champion. But you get paid like no money. You get like paid like minimum wage.
Right. Celebro that night which is actually one of the first questions I asked the VIP personal escort.
Yeah.
Escort? Is that,
Yeah. I think
that sound bad?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, how's Celebrity Row looking tonight? And she's like, honestly, like, I don't really know anybody. And I was like, is Adam Sandler here? And she's like, oh my God, I fucking love him.
Yeah.
He unfortunately was not in the building.
That might be your most famous New Yorker. But is he even? But he's mainly in Los Angeles. I feel like.
Really? I don't know.
Well, anyway, we could talk about New
going
Yorkers.
from least impressive to most awesome.
There was the rapper that no one knew.
Oh, yeah.
That basically got like he didn't get booed, but he got no love. And then we looked him up. He has 2 million Instagram followers. I can't remember. His name.
But how's he engaging?
Something C.
It was like CJ. No, but not CJ Whoopty. Not that.
No.
CJ.
But it's some fucking
Whatever.
Brooklyn drill guy.
He looked like an island boy.
He was he was very light skinned.
Yeah, looked like an island
so
boy.
he was he got no love.
I forgot about him.
0 exactly.
Moving
on up the ladder.
One of the kids from Stranger Things, who wasn't even sitting courtside.
No,
he was sitting
dude,
underneath the basket, which is fucking pathetic.
He had terrible seats.
There was
Dressed insane.
there was a lady, a woman was there.
I mean, Nick Braun's date.
No, was it? Who the fuck was it? I don't know. Whatever. And then and then the main guy from Walking Dead. Actually, no, he's not.
Sure.
He's not third. Third place, Nick Braun. Boo.
Yeah, no.
Washed. Not a fan. He did some fucking dumb little dance on camera.
Yeah, he clearly wants to be a guy so bad. I wonder if I wonder if we're gonna get backlash for our Nick Braun backlash. Nick Braun is not cool.
We're early on the Nick Braun backlash. It's gonna happen. Like
if it hasn't already, yeah.
Well, we're starting it right now. The backlash starts right now. Yeah. Yes, we're early.
And this is not a personal grievance just because, he turned us down and refused to pod with us despite us going to a screener of Zola so that we could prepare to interview him.
We are the Rosa Parks of hating on Nick Braun.
Yes.
But Nick Braun, it's fucking over for your ass.
Nick Braun. We're officially canceling Nick Braun because he's
canceling.
corny.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the leading guy from Walking Dead, right? Which he must be so fucking rich.
Yeah, I don't
Whatever. People love that show.
I never
He
watched
got
a single episode.
He got a big. I watched maybe 2 seasons. It was good, but it just got fucking too scary.
Too many nightmares.
He got a big hand, and then the biggest hand, of course, was for possibly #1 New Yorker of all time.
At least in your opinion.
Currently, at least, Tracy Morgan.
No, the #1 New Yorker alive.
Yeah.
Does Tracy Morgan goes to every Knicks game?
I don't think every Knicks game, but he's definitely very much
who might be
there.
a more famous New Yorker? Spike Lee.
More famous?
Than Tracy Morgan?
As a Knick fan, yeah.
Well, he is the Knick fan, but I'm just thinking even as a New Yorker. I know I said Fran Lebowitz before we got on mic, and you're like, whatever.
Well, to me, it's...
I don't know who counts, who even lives in New York anymore.
I don't know it's about living in New York, but I think it's just embodying that shit. So it's Clyde Frazier,
yeah,
right, who was on the start, the only guy in Drip Cam that actually had any fucking drip.
He killed it.
Tracy Morgan, Spike Lee for sure, Chris Rock. I put Chris Rock up there.
Chris Rock lives in Soho. I see him all the time. What about fucking De Niro, Scorsese? Those are new. If it's just about embodying New York, I mean, those are New York guys.
I don't think Scorsese currently you think.
I don't
of him
think
as,
either
a
of
New
them
Yorker.
do. Oh, really?
He definitely did New York movies.
I'm just saying in terms of fucking, you said embodying the city. Anyway, whatever. Shout out fucking Celebro. The main takeaway here is we're canceling Nick Braun.
Yes. So
he is persona non grata in terms of the only podcast that matters.
Yeah, everyone write that. He's just trying too hard to be that guy. You know,
he wants to be that guy so badly. You made, and I don't want to steal your take, but you said something I thought that was really interesting, which is in the wake of Jonah Hill moving back to L.A., there is that kind of slot where it's like young, cool, zeitgeisty guy who's just out. Who's at bar, not that Jonah was at bars, but like, you know, obviously you can see fucking Nick Braun at Ray's, right? Like you see him, shopping, downtown, and
you see him running
coffee.
to Dave Portnoy and saying he's such a fan of that sexual predator. Nick Braun, if you see you at Ray's on Saturday, this premiere party we're going to, it's on site.
Nick Braun does love Barstool, which is fucking hilarious. Which I think is like, and not, I mean, obviously we work there, but like this idea that Nick Braun is like cool, I think is cap.
Well, again, it's like just all image. He is the white Travis Scott.
I don't know.
Braun is the white Travis Scott. I'm running with it.
He seems a little bit deeper.
Speaking of, we haven't gotten to. We got to talk about our Drake's event. Thank you everyone for coming to Drake's event and raising a shitload of money for the Lower East Side Community Fridge, and I think also a organization that supports small business in Chinatown. We did a live pod, which to me, everyone said was really good and really funny.
You got good feedback. I didn't really hear. I didn't really talk to people
and
about it.
It seemed genuine. But to me, what really opened my eyes about that was just how fucking trash we are at working the crowd. And like, I think
stumbling and bumbling out the gate.
I think that it's a literal science where you have to be like, "Yo, how's everyone doing tonight? Make some noise!" Like you had to tell people to like make some noise. And like clap.
I thought we did a good job at our actual live show at the Bell House. I thought that this was like, and again, shout out Drake's and great partners, and the fucking tea slapped, and I'm happy that everyone fucking copped that for a good cause, and it was a good time. It was just a different type of more like lo-fi kind of hang.
Your mic didn't work.
my microphone did not work.
It was like, look, it was very casual and very low key, which is the point. But then like we get up there, and I'm like, oh, there's more dudes, so many dudes in here. I feel like I'm in an Art Basel NFT party. Oh, no, it starts off with you going, "Everyone shut the fuck up,"
which is like a joke that didn't land. No, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's like mad."
Aggro. And then I gave my joke and it didn't land. And then you pointed out that my joke didn't land, which is probably the worst thing you want to do when you're like a duo on stage. And Karma hit you immediately, and your mic conked out. Which is fine because he didn't need it. And also, it was a small space, so like everyone could hear.
The thing that stuck out to me, and I don't know if I was actively like avoiding asking for feedback and just immediately went to fucking get smacked and eat some burgers, but it was unlike any type of thing we've ever done because it was so fast and it was so furious. Like normally being on stage or like doing anything live is like a blur. This was like, Which honestly, can all pods be a half hour? It kind of rocked.
I wonder if
in its own way.
I wonder if this is just what a live podcast is like. You know, like
that fast and that fucking like just blinding.
No, not in terms of speed, but just in terms of like three people having a conversation and the audience. You're not like or like getting into it. You're just like ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I guess we could have brought some of our best in class crowd work.
Well, speaking of the crowd, it was maybe a bit slightly lighter than we had planned for because of all these motherfuckers. It was still crowded, but it wasn't like packed. We okayed or like gave admittance to enough people where it would have been like at capacity.
Yep.
And we didn't hit that because all these motherfuckers that just want to be in the motherfucking mix and be there with the goddamn motherfucking boys, and most of them are your friends. Who want to just like, I want to be on the list because you know what? I validate my life by just being able to be like, I'm on the list.
Let me get a +5.
They don't show up. Yeah. And so we had allocated the very few spots to like basically half RCPs. And I felt for patrons and Discord guys that were like, I put Patreon in my...
Now I feel like this is on some Travis Scott. You're blaming me.
When, I'm blaming the crowd.
Real fans couldn't come.
I'm blaming the Ragers.
I'm blaming the Ragers.
I'm blaming the Fitters.
I will say that ultimately, and I don't know if I'm gonna blame my friends explicitly like you just did.
My friends didn't even know that this event happened or that we dropped merch.
I will say that for me, it's still a learning experience. Where, for example, we get 200 RSVPs for what was going to be like 45 slots. It's almost like an airline. How do you even negotiate how much overflow you accommodate? Like that's, I don't understand how to do that math.
Well, it's like
fucking math.
Bro, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like you do like 130% of like capacities, you like okay.
Right, exactly. And it's like how, I don't even know where to, because then the worst thing is you have people, imagine people show up and you have to turn them away. That's even worse. Even though like,
but they just go around the corner and have a fucking burger.
And that is one final point I'd like to bring up here is that you and I, not that we've had an argument about this, but one thing that we are currently, I would say, maybe not aligned on is you think that this reputation that we could potentially have of just being like hosts and party guys is like bad for business because we have this ability that other people don't have, because anyone can fucking host if you know enough people, if you're popular enough, or you have enough fucking fans or people that support you. You and I have this talent or this skill that we could do where I'm like, bro, what happens if there's no live shows and it's just fucking hangs?
Yeah, but then like
schmoozing,
hosting. Last night I went to Drake's intramural shop or leisure. Was it intramural or leisure center? I don't know. But
it was just Bijan.
Yeah, just intramural, and like he had sourced like a fire little collection,
like
and was selling merch, and like that's what he can do. Can he host a podcast? I don't know. Can we source vintage? I don't know. I don't think so. So it's just like it's adding. I don't want to be the Travis Scott, bro. I don't want to be the Travis Scott of podcasting where there's no depth.
Just completely,
it's just raging.
It's
just raging.
I will say that after that Fast and Furious live show that was maybe a chaotic, maybe more of a chaotic blur than we had anticipated. Great fucking crowd as always, man. I mean, shout out to everyone who came through to hang out and support, even if you didn't get to see the live show.
And this was the start of New York Fashion Week, where we saw not just our best friends behind the paywall family, but some fucking menswear heavyweights. Tommy Ton.
Yeah.
Peskowitz.
Chris Green.
Gian. Chris Green.
Yeah.
Who am I forgetting? Angelo.
Yeah.
Urrutia.
Nice crowd.
Who else?
Everyone is like...
Everyone.
A lot of people are in town. And I don't know, like... I know it's the holidays, right? And I understand that everyone's been, like, cooped up and no one got to have fucking Christmas and New Year's Eve last year, right? I mean, that was...
Yeah. So the holidays.
So I get why everyone is around, but it just I don't know. It feels like people
we're about to go through a few more fucking highlight evenings of New York Fashion Week. So basically, that was the start of it. Saturday, Sunday.
And to be clear for anyone at home who's confused, you're just comparing it to. It's not actually.
It felt like it because it's like every night you're at an event where you're seeing the same people and you have the same conversations.
Okay, well that's like a negative way to look at it. It is
right.
It is jam packed for sure.
It's like for example, right? Like I haven't seen Josh Peskowitz because of the pandemic and whatever for like a long time. I guess the last time might have been at like
we potted over Zoom.
Yeah, but
he was upstate with his wife.
But then I saw him in person a few days after when we did like the ALD shoot.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe I've seen some other shit very quickly, but it's like I've seen Pesco like 3 times in the last like 5 days, which is great.
More than you've seen in the past 3 years, yeah.
And I think it's better than New York Fashion Week because like at New York Fashion Week, it's just like, yo, like, how's your New York Fashion Week going?
There's no obligations also. It's like you're not like I have to go to this show or I have this thing starts at this time. This is like it feels more of like a free for all in the best possible way. So what did we do?
We made some new friends on Monday when we got the Barracuda Needles, and then you and I.
That's right.
I guess we can just say it. We went out with our boy Chris Corrado and Nick and 2 homies, Daniel and Sam from Mr. Porter.
Yeah.
Big things coming.
Well, I will say that we are in the early stages of trying to put together something. No. Can I just say, I feel like this is the most daunting thing that we have tried to do.
Yeah.
And
we have.
That's why I'm not going to tell people what's happening because, like.
Well, you have been.
No, I'm not. Did I?
Oh, not on camera. Not on camera.
No, not on cam. I mean, obviously, I don't want to fucking blow my load too soon before anything. Like, nothing. Has been signed or whatever.
You're very bearish on this. I'm very bullish on this.
Yes, exactly, and
which is always like kind of how we balance each other
right.
out.
It also gives me some pause for concern, but
it's also not going to be that much work. Don't worry.
It's not about that.
We have crazy like the support system around it is like
it's not about the work. It's just like the magnitude.
It is about the work.
No, well, it's always about the work, or in my case, lack thereof. But no, for me, it just feels like I don't know. It feels I'm intimidated by the scope. That's where I'm at. Anyway,
I'm fucking enthusiastic. I'm enthused about it. I'm fired up. We go to Frenchette, which I guess is like Corrado's favorite fucking spot.
We went that last time we all went out to dinner. I guess like a year ago, we went there
when it was freezing to celebrate the DMA boots, the success of the DMA boots. And speaking of the DMA boots,
that
we did. So everyone knows that the costume designer or a costume designer on Succession went through JVL to get to us and got her hands on a pair, and she said they look great on Kendall Roy.
Apparently, Jeremy Strong loved them.
The fucking
rumor. I don't know.
bozo du jour after that New Yorker profile.
Which is funny that we literally saw him. Was it day of that? Oh no, it had dropped like
it was the day after.
It was the day after.
Well, it came out online on Sunday, and then that issue dropped on Monday. But like, so everyone was talking about it Monday day. So it was that day.
I actually hadn't. We had talked about the boots so much ahead of this season. And speaking of being bullish on something, you said you've been watching with like an eagle eye. I had like literally forgotten about it.
Well, I feel like an idiot, and I had to go back and like make fun of myself because like 5 minutes before episode 1 of season 3 started, I was like, keep an eye out on Kendall Roy's feet this season.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Everyone go back and
talk about big things coming, fucking cappers, dude.
Everyone go back and ratio my ass.
And also now that Jeremy Strong has exposed himself as like the king of all bozos, it's almost like, is it a flex or embarrassing that apparently the man himself, not the character, well, I guess there's really no fucking difference according to the article, but the fact that he like was so drawn to them, is that like a bad look?
It's
since
both.
He's a news cap wearing fucking loser.
Yeah, bro. He's on his. And then he like, I walked by the table and he was like comparing a dish. He said, "Oh, this dish reminds me of this wonderful book I've been reading."
Right. He's like some huge foodie. I did look to see if he was maybe wearing, because if he had been wearing the boots, we're gonna say something. We're gonna try to get a photo up, whatever.
My thing,
but he was not.
I mean, so I didn't really know that Jeremy was like drawn to them. I just thought that like,
oh, they thought the character was.
They told us. They told us that the character Kendall Roy wore them on camera. Whether that scene makes it into the final cut of whatever episode, we only have one episode left, so TBD.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
But my thing was, I was like, yo, Kendall Roy, when he became his like fucking like swag villain shit.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yo, so you're telling me that like he's on his cornball swag villain, like 40-year-old trying to dress like a fucking hip hop guy, and our shoes fit perfectly.
Yeah, that's
also
not, that's also a bit suspect.
He was wearing at his birthday party. He was wearing a dark olive green turtleneck, and I was like, "Yo, is this where he puts like the fucking olive green boots to like match it?"
Did he have a chain too?
Yeah,
it was like he was
a Jesus piece. It was a cross.
He was on his spooky black shit.
Yeah,
it was the vibe, dude.
It's when he leans over and goes, "It's my birthday. Fuck you."
Damn,
I don't
dude.
know, bro, but he ordered a glass of rosé.
I wonder if we're gonna be fucking eating crow if he's never make it in. We literally spent so much time talking about this ahead of the show.
Whatever.
Premiering.
So he was to the table to our left. To the table to our right was a former coworker of mine who I haven't seen since I quit Def Jam in June 2020.
The legend.
4 days after George Floyd was murdered.
Are you gonna say who it is?
No, I'm not.
Oh, damn.
Kanye name drops him in
30 hours.
Okay, well, there you go.
Shit, I thought.
No, this guy's a legend. This guy's like out. If you work in music, like this fucking guy because he's awesome. He's like he's kind of artist of John Buscemi in some ways. Where he's just like,
he said we're into movements,
He fucking commands the attention of the room.
Yeah,
he's the guy that's like he's either like ordering for the table,
big boss,
or he's like. Everyone makes their order. He's like, also, let's get some fucking let's get like the ribeye for 2 as well, and like a round of martinis.
When you noticed him, I almost like thought that you weren't gonna say, and you ultimately did say what up when he was leaving, but you kind of like went into like, oh damn, that's whatever, and you seemed like intimidated a little bit.
I just didn't want to have like he's a big personality. He and I were friends. Like we got along pretty well when I worked there. I just didn't want to have the conversation because he and I have literally not said anything
since
one another since I left.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I left under such weird pretenses where the GM of the company who like oversees everyone was supposed to disseminate the information that I left. I don't think he did because they were in such crisis mode with like everything else, like all the pandemic and everything.
And BLM, as we've addressed before.
And BLM and just having 0 hits.
Yeah.
And then signing Snoop Dogg as the creative consultant.
I mean,
guy.
Get how you live, bro.
Bro. So I was just like, I don't want to have this conversation, and then he gets up and I'm just like, yo, what up? And he's like, yo,
it was fine.
What up? I thought it was the most awkward shit
really?
ever. He's like,
I made a joke at his expense and like fucked with him a little bit. Not that I know.
You?
Yeah, about him picking up our fucking tab.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He laughed and he's like, I'm fucking ditching my own table, like whatever. I don't know. I thought it was nice.
So he
was clearly not trying to stay and talk to you either, by the way.
I know.
So it's kind of perfect.
Yeah. He reached out afterwards. He's like, yo, so great to see you.
Oh, really? That's cool.
What have you been up to? And again, I was like, I don't want to get into this. I was just like, yo, so great to see you too. Like, give my love to the whole team.
Okay.
But he once told Kanye West, because Kanye is a Def Jam artist, I think, or I don't know, he's like fucking not. But when he was a Def Jam artist, and when I interviewed him after Yeezy, this guy facilitated the interview, and he introduced me. He's like, "Yo, this is James. He does this thing called Fashion Bros, which is the funniest thing on the internet."
Oh, wow. Damn,
and
high
so I don't know
praise.
if you remember this, but I was like, "Yo, do you know Lawrence? He was like from Fashion Bros."
Oh. No,
I don't think you remembered.
I don't really catch that. He also has a great quote where when Rick Ross was about to break and Port of Miami was going to come out or whatever, he was like, we're not into, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, it's attributed to him. It's like, we're not into artists, we're into movements.
Fire.
Here at Def Jam. Real fucking, well, I won't say what his job is, but he's a fucking pro. I will say with Friendship, bro, lives up to the hype.
If you're not paying, what was the bill?
Okay. It was fucked. I thought I was making a joke and like joking around me like looking because everyone knew that Chris was picking it up, but I almost like wonder if I went too far.
Yeah, you always go too
far. But it was $1,500.
For 6 of us.
3 bottles of wine.
3 bottles of wine.
Cocktails.
Mad beers. The fucking dessert wine, which you hated.
Oh, it was terrible, bro.
It tastes like gasoline. It fucking lit me up.
I will say, though, that's one of the... I love it because it's like a French restaurant with like traditional French food, but the way to experience it is to do, as Chris says, sharesies, which with like doing it like fucking dim sum style, which for me is great because we get to try fucking everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I don't know about you. That is not how... I mainly go out to eat with couples, with like my wife and other couples, and no one ever wants to do that. And it's only when I go out with like the fellas that because that is the way to experience.
That's the way to try. You get a little bit of everything. Yo, bro, you did put your fucking foot in your mouth.
Okay.
Off rip when you're like, hey, so there's no French onion soup here. Why not?
Bro, because
And the guy's like, what? Because we're a French restaurant? We're supposed to have French onion soup? And you're like, yeah, bro.
Our waiter, was he the waiter? He was the waiter, right? He seemed like more than a waiter, though. He seemed like more of like
he was probably like a captain.
Okay. Okay.
Captain.
He was super offended, and I was like, first of all...
He was super offended.
First of all, fuck you, dude. The last time I was here, there was French onion soup. And the reason I'm asking is because it's so spectacular. He was like, oh, yeah, why don't you go down the street to the Odeon if you want French onion soup? And I was like, it's funny you say that. That French onion soup is too salty. And he's like, you know what? I agree. And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, I know my French onion soup. I've had it everywhere, bro. Right. I've had French onion soup all over the world as a connoisseur. I'm asking because... Yes, of course, bro. I have it every meal when I'm there, bro. Last time I was in Paris, I had it every single day. It's a fucking
real fat man of genius.
Yeah, great moments in Fat Genius. No, I asked because their shit fucking slaps. So my apologies, fucking guy. Though what's awesome is we saw him later. Remember, he came to the bar and we tried to become boys. I was like, "Yo, what's your IG? I'm gonna follow you." And he's like, "I don't have IG. I have Twitter." I'm like, "What's your Twitter? I'm gonna follow you." And I think I followed him on Twitter.
Does he get good tweets off?
I have no recollection what his handle is or how to find it.
What was he was wearing a short coat that we're all admiring.
Oh, and he was like, well, it's just J. Crew. We're like, nah, it's like fucking sick. Oh, he had the Power Boot Michaels on. He like looked cool.
Nice watch.
I think his name is Ken. So if you go to Frenchette and you see Ken, tell him that we
looks like a Wes Anderson motherfucker.
Yeah. We tell him we got gassed up on the only podcast that matters. It was, so we have dinner. If you can get into Frenchette, when there was outdoor seating, it was a lot easier to get in. Now it's back on you need the bat phone.
This truly is, and again, like, yes, we didn't have to fucking pay the bill, but I think this is one of the restaurants that like the food truly does always kind of live up to the hype. I've only been there 3 times or so, but like,
I'm like 3 or 4 too. Yeah.
I mean, every dish was just fucking gas.
Yeah,
and like. Honestly,
my one regret knowing that we were going to Luger's the next night is I don't think we should have. The porterhouse to me it didn't live up to what you can get at Luger's.
That was still really fucking fire, but it wasn't the best dish.
No,
it was the worst dish, not at fault for being bad. Just it was the least best.
What was your favorite thing?
It might have been the fucking duck. Honestly,
dude, the gnocchi is insane.
Gnocchi's good.
As a French restaurant, the pastas, the garganelli, and the fucking gnocchi were out of this world.
I had sweetbreads, which I normally am not. You and I aren't a fan of.
No.
And I thought I got it confused with offal, which is intestine.
Okay.
And apparently
sweetbreads
are
right?
Like the glands.
Yeah.
And like the one bite I had, and I've only really had like sweetbreads and offal in Thailand, so it's like much different than French style.
Sure.
Was fucking fire too.
Highly recommended. Apparently, it is super hard to get into. We wouldn't know because our boy has the fucking bat phone and he was able to set it up. But highly recommended. Yo, and very much the first kind of stop in our like weird New York institution fucking tour on top of like this fake New York Fashion Week.
MSG.
Drinking at Nancy's Tavern. Yo, the most dog shit piece of shit bar that exists downtown, without a doubt.
Real racist cop bar vibes.
Bathrooms always broken, smells like shit.
My third time there in 4 days.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That literally sounds like being sent to the gulag, dude. Like a punishment.
Nah, I fuck with it. I do like it. I mean,
they are very loose with what you can do in that bar. I'll just leave it at that. Which
if
is
you're
pretty
there,
tight.
like ironically, then like I think it's and like.
Wild crowd.
Doing things ironically is like something I think that you fucking grow out of because it's just like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not actually enjoying this. But we were just like, yo, you guys are British. Like, try some American beers. Have some Budweisers. And like, this is actually a Dutch beer.
Yeah, I think I threw up in the street twice. And it's funny because I've only ever been at Nancy's bar with my boy Dave, who's with us the other night.
Last night.
Last night. Who has the distinction as a 48-year-old man of being the youngest How Long Gone fan, I think, in existence. So shout out Dave. But I would always go and meet him there when he's in town on business. He stays downtown, and he loved going there because it was such dog shit. So anytime I've ever been there, I've just been absolutely fucking obliterated. But it's the shittiest bar in Manhattan, without a doubt. One of the oldest too, I think.
But it's also just crazy that it's like in Tribeca too.
Well, it's like the last vestige of like a different Tribeca. Yeah. That's like look at
on Chambers the Patriot. That's fucking old.
Well,
Tribeca.
I'm sure that place has a similar like insane laundry list of like derelict regulars. Like it's
there's this guy. Very sad. I think he's dead, probably from alcohol-related health issues. There's this guy, this old black dude. He would just be like at the bar like this, and like I would go there with like a group of friends.
The Patriot,
again, like ironically, the Patriot on Chambers Street.
Is it still around, or did it close?
I'm pretty sure it's still around. It's like disgusting. It's like a country bar.
Crazy to me that Nancy survived the pandemic.
There's like
they're probably open the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
They never closed.
I mean, there's cop bars. They didn't have masks the whole time. There's like nasty like bras hanging from the ceiling, and this one guy would just be like sitting there, and like at first we thought it was funny, but then we're like, this is really fucking sad. He would just be sitting there, and then like every so often he'd just be like, let me get a yeah, and the whole crowd,
fuck yeah, dude.
And then the whole bar would just be like, yeah,
all right, dude.
And then like throughout the night he'd get drunker, and everyone else would get drunker, and he'd be like, let me get a yeah, and then like the whole bar would do it. But then you're just like, yo,
Ric Flair
like
on it. Ric Flair on that hoe. Damn, dude. Shout out all the regulars, dude. Yo, the solitary, old, grizzled alcoholic regular, regardless of your gender, is like such a real and sad New York trope.
I'm trying to think. It wasn't
like when I lived on Upper West Side. There were so many. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, it's a staple, but it's just like I don't know, man. Honestly, for me, it kills my fucking buzz, dude. Because I'm like, yo, I don't want to end up like that, bro. God forbid.
And yet, let's talk about as the week rolls on.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be you at Finelli's, bro.
Well, dude. So where was our next stop on our New York City?
Next stop on New York City Fashion Week, New York City institution was John Buscemi's in town launching his whiskey, which is $200 a bottle. It's sold out in 20 minutes.
Crazy.
He made crazy money. We're not gonna say the numbers. That's private information.
Hearing right, that's proprietary. But hearing those numbers, I honestly blew my dick off.
It's like let's make a fucking whiskey.
I'm like, yeah, what is like? Well, I guess it's very difficult to do.
Well,
you like can't even do it. Yeah,
but yeah. we were both very. I think you were in worse shape on Tuesday than I was. I was pretty good by like early afternoon.
Oh yeah,
Tuesday.
Well, I went to the movies.
Oh, you saw Licorice Pizza?
Yeah, which I highly recommend. Yo, honestly, fucking super earnest and sentimental and mid-tier PTA, but just fucking love the magic of the movies. The ascending, the fucking escalator,
Bro,
like
it's your first time going to
stairway to heaven.
First time going to the movies by yourself for all pandemic, right? Ever?
No, not ever. But definitely the first time in a minute. Jen and I have been to we saw House of Gucci.
No,
like
by yourself though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been to the movies, but this is the first time by myself in a minute. Definitely the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Are you gonna see it?
Yeah, I want to see it.
It is very romantic, even though it is kind of like such a fucking young male fantasy of basically like trying to bang your hot babysitter, which rocks. And
who's 10 years older than you, not 10 years younger.
I will say, not a what is it, Haim?
Yeah, Alana
I don't get that whole little Jewy for me, to be honest.
Like their music?
Yeah, I don't get the
like
whole
their
appeal.
Hanukkah song?
The whole appeal of the whole band of sisters, fucking star-making turn, and then, Cooper Hoffman, rest in peace to the god, fucking PSH, like, this is his first, I guess it's their debut role, both of them, absolutely fucking flames, dude. Young fucking pimp, hustler, killed it. Great character, great role.
Are you done talking?
Done. See it.
Call me Philip Seymour Hoffman the way I be rocking these needles.
Fucking so rude, dude.
Went up to the private room. So you were like, yo, should we bail? I'm like, nah, come on. Like, we're probably gonna get the private room at Luger's. This is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity.
The magic of the movies brought me back to life. Had a Coca-Cola, a bowl of popcorn, so that brought me back. That was my ultimate point.
And I was just like, yo, like this is some classic New York shit. Yo, we saw Kevin Fantasy Explosion last night, and he was like, why didn't you steal a gravy boat? And I do fucking regret not stealing a gravy boat.
We probably could have easily. Yeah. But it would have been all saucy and nasty.
I think you would like bring it to the
bathroom and clean it out. Yeah.
Or like, I think some of the
plates. Do people do that?
Someone stole one, and they gave it to him.
Oh,
and
fire.
That's one of his things where he's like, I'm never going to sell this.
Right. It would be great like in your office as like a pen holder or something.
Yeah, or like change, or like candy,
or
drugs.
Keys, Fuck. I didn't even, I'm not a degen, dude. I'm not a fucking degenerate klepto.
We were like, because Buscemi was like, yo, I got some big plans for afterwards too, if you're into that type of thing. And we were like, yo.
Can't do it, dude. Got to be in bed by.
Well, because we had an early podcast next morning with Sean Crawford.
Yep.
We can now reveal next week's guest.
We're sticking with that. That was just the lie.
Sure. Which we never even ended up having.
No. I did the thing where like you have the excuse, and I think I just offered it up like immediately. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, well, tomorrow morning. I'm like, I'm a fucking loser, dude.
Shout out
Sean Crawford on the pod next week.
Sean Buscemi looked fucking great in the custom double-breasted.
I mean, when he wears tailoring, he fucking big boss Don, dude.
But it was a mixed crowd. It wasn't like, and we kind of we were wondering all night or all day. It's like, yo, who's gonna be here?
Yeah, who even is invited to this shit?
It was a mix. It was two gigantic tables.
Yeah, a lot more people than I thought.
Yes, it was a mix of kind of like streetwear guys and like,
but streetwear like OGs.
James Bond from Undefeated.
Yep.
A bunch Will Spin.
Will Spin. Fucking King Solomon, the homie, was there.
Solomon, the homie.
Shout out Ben. And then like a bunch of like other guys that
JDM and Misinfo from Stadium Goods.
Yeah, and a lot of people that like worked with like in that because Buscemi is kind of like a New York OG, but then because he's older and of that other generation, he's also like an LA OG. So it's like he has like a lot of guys that were around that Undefeated crew were there, which is like all of them like UFC guys.
And he's just the fucking so
cauliflower ear.
Yeah, he's just like the best at like. He's like bopping around the room, shaking hands, kissing hands, shaking babies.
Sure.
The other contingent besides like, and then there was like us and like
the podcasters.
Like, we were the podcasters. And then the other contingent was just like whiskey cigar money guys.
Yeah.
That like
big money guys.
Dressed fucking rich. Not well. Like
rich.
There's one guy like had a fucking, CDG Play cardigan on.
Yeah. A lot of fucking nice watches and then kind of interesting, we'll say, outfits.
But there's like a guy comes over and he's like, I just got to say, fuck you because now I got to buy some of this.
Yeah.
And then he leaves and Buscemi's like, that guy's like has the fourth best palate in the world.
For whiskey. Yeah.
All right.
Whatever that means. It was good. Luger's. I feel like the thing now is people like to hate on Luger's or they say it's overrated. Bro, it fucking checks every box for me, bro. I love it.
The steak to me doesn't have a good crust. Like it's too soft on the outside. I would just wish it had more crust. The sides, the cream spinach, and the German the German potatoes.
So good.
And the bacon. Oh my God.
That thick cut bacon. But you can kind of like buy they put the bacon in stores now.
Yo, I got some intel.
Okay.
Apparently, so the burgers are really fire. And if you want
that's a lunch only maneuver.
If you want like a little entry moment into Luger's because you don't want to like spend like hundreds of dollars there, go for lunch, get the burger.
That's the absolute move.
Got some intel that they take the unsold burger patties and you can buy them the next day old burger patties at some grocery store on North 5th and Kent.
Oh really?
Shout out the guy in my DMs that told me that.
That's crazy
because it's supposed to be a fucking I've actually never had the burger, but it's supposed
really
to be
you never gone for lunch.
I've never gone for lunch.
That has really been of the few times that I've done Luger's. That's the thing I've probably done twice. That's the move, dude. That cheeseburger is really fucking good.
Yeah. And, we capped off the week with a fucking Bijan of Intramural. Had a little capsule pop-up within Drake's. I went. You were at a dinner with, like, a lot of, like, menswear homies or just, like, colleague, I guess friends.
Friends,
I was there.
Peers, lovers.
I spent the whole night chilling with my fucking guy, Kevin from Fantasy Explosion, and my new best friend,
Chad, dude.
Chad from Street Rack. I'd met him at Street Rack like a few times.
Okay.
Like twice.
Oh, like shopping?
He said, and this is like a big honor that he said this, he's like, yo, you spending like $50 on a t-shirt and posting it was like huge for Street Rack.
There you go.
And one, you're welcome. Two, like, I don't know, getting to actually kind of, and I was talking about this with my girl.
He rocks. He has great taste. Great fucking kid.
Yeah.
Dude.
This is one of those things where it's just like, you go to like actually meet these people, not in like a transactional setting, but like now like I feel like we have a bond with Chad, and Chad fucking rules.
Yeah, I was so happy.
And like the bond we already have with Kevin is like now even stronger.
Right. Yeah, it was great to unite.
Are we making friends?
I know, yeah, but unite all these crews under the fucking beautiful red glow of Finelli's.
Well, then we go to Finelli's, and 2 of Kevin's friends joined us, and 2 other guys, and we're just like sitting outside. Someone's like, "Yo, Chad's the mayor of Finelli's."
Really?
We get there.
I never see you at Finelli's, Chad.
You're not there on the right nights then. Because we get there, right? And we're like 3rd in line of like big groups. And he's like, yo, Fish, what up? And Fish is like, I got you. And Chad goes, can we sit there? And he's like, yeah, I got you. Let me just clean this up. And we get to like skip everyone. And he took care of us.
I guess I'm more of a Finelli's at lunch guy. Yeah. Shout out my girl Sheena. I don't know if she's still there. I haven't been for lunch in a minute. And I didn't see her last time. But yeah, it always pays to fucking. That's the place where. And who tried to order spaghetti meatballs? You were saying you were shitting on him?
One of Kevin's friends, well, the whole table was just like, yo, do not. So it was basically like, let's drink some beers.
Right.
And this one guy was like, yo, it's 10 o'clock. I haven't had dinner yet. Let me I'm thinking about spaghetti meatballs. And we're like, don't do that. Like, you're saying it's fine, whatever. But
I'll say the pasta is good, bro.
Don't make the whole.
Get mozzarella sticks, bro.
Well, they're out of mozzarella sticks.
Oh, damn.
And they're out of tater tots.
Fuck. Yeah. Wings? I guess at that point you go wings. But
he went just steak sandwich.
Okay. Yeah, which
get
is
a
also
sandwich,
delicious.
which is like quick, easy, like not messy. Don't get a fucking big ass plate of spaghetti meatballs and just like slurping shit down in the middle of like 6 dudes.
That's a move, dude. Yeah, I guess that was probably ill advised. But I just want to say, fucking good pesto, fucking good spaghetti meatballs. Everything on that menu fucking hits, and it's all cheap, dude.
You come through with a bunch of homies that I haven't seen in a minute. Rob from Mildred, Greg Babcock, Nico, Trunzo, Julian,
Dave.
I forget Dave.
Fucking Aton from Knickerbocker.
Sean Pooh.
Oh, Sean. Ethan, your fucking boy from high school. Yeah, dude.
All the homies. It was
great.
Yeah, we kind of had a little backroom takeover, which I'm going to take credit for.
That was your idea?
I was like, hey.
Can we just,
there's a lot of empty tables here. Can we just like.
We're going to spend $1,000 on beers. Let us fucking post.
Well, not me and you.
Oh,
somebody got stuck with the bill.
And then, also, as we link up with you guys, we're at the bar. I look down, and like a fucking beacon at the end of the bar, I see a fucking pink beanie. Lo and behold, Aaron Levine pounding fucking tequila shots, who once he realized that he had found himself in the eye of a menswear storm, just the best fucking guy, the longest, most just strong, loving embraces that have ever been given.
That was the longest hug I've ever, I think I like, what's like there's like a Trump handshake that like goes on for incredibly long.
Oh, but that's like more of a power move thing where it's
this was him just like giving me warmth and love. There's a moment where I tried to pull out and I was like, no, this feels too nice. Yeah, go back in.
That was and then I guess Pesco came a bit later, and then that was
awesome. Everyone's awesome.
I mean, that's the right. Is that the takeaway, that despite complaining about all this stuff and being like old guys who get hangovers for 72 hours now, just like, it is great when you are with the homies and you're just fucking crushing. So we literally drank them out of Budweiser. We drank them out of.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
but everyone rocks.
To me,
dudes. What is takeaway? Dudes fucking rock. Shout out all the fucking fellas, bro.
It's more specific than that. New York dudes rock. Okay, this was a very New York thing where you don't run into people in LA.
Okay, touche.
You really
touche.
don't.
Right.
No, and no one in LA goes to anything except for the Throwing Fits party at Mohawk. Right. Like this week, this thing like I think was very Blastic New York. Could I continue? No. Was I supposed to get a fucking tattoo and hang out with Mr. Blue tonight? Yes.
Shout out Lou, dude.
But we postponed it.
Yeah.
Do we have something tomorrow?
And also, shout out Chris Ramos. Hope you're feeling better, bro.
Do we have something tomorrow? Yeah. Do we have something Saturday? Yeah. I think we're gonna fucking fight Nick Braun at Rays. On his home turf.
But my point is, I know that this is somewhat specific to New York, but the final point I want to make is to all our fucking friends at home, if you're listening, like, if you've taken anything away from this, it's like, get the boys together, hug each other, fucking crush some fucking buds. I know it's the holiday season. I know everyone's busy, but nothing is fucking better than that. Your boys are the family you fucking choose, man.
Yo, take some inspiration from the homies in India.
Okay.
Jonah Weiner tweeted this out, and
Okay.
he and I were talking a little bit today. He's like, yo, why can't I hold hands with the homies?
Oh, sure.
And I was like, bro, in
Also,
India...
you're the least affectionate person. Like, I can't believe you're trying to pretend like you would ever hold anybody's hand.
No,
you would hold your girlfriend's hand?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'll believe it
I'm
when
not
I see
gonna hold
it.
your hand. It's all clammy and weird.
No, you're not a hugger. You're not a smoocher.
I'm a hugger.
Nah.
I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked
Not
about
with you.
this before.
Not with you.
Yeah, clearly.
We've never touched.
No, we only when we were super fucked up after Jonah came to Jonah Hill Day. We've talked about this before. It's the only time we're like, oh my God, we've never actually been affectionate. But that's how you know the fucking vibes were good.
In India, you hold hands with your hetero male friends.
I love that. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's so tight. Let's fucking shout out Jonah. Great fucking idea. Let's fucking bring that back. Smooch a homie today. Hold his hand tomorrow. Hug him in the future. Crack some beers with the boys.
All right, that is the end of this week's Boys Only. Yo, next week is a big fucking week. It's what do we call it?
Oh, dude,
what do we call our shit?
It's so ridiculous. Hold on, I'll find it. You send it to me over text. I forgot that it had such a ridiculous name.
Here,
it is
the Throwing Fits Year in Review Critics' Choice Awards Spectacular Christmas Eve Special.
This might not be on Christmas Eve, so we might lose that.
It's gonna be on the 17th, so it's gonna be maybe just like Christmas season, holiday season special.
Holiday season special.
Just personal favorites of the year.
Yeah.
Should we also do worsts? I guess like bozos.
I don't know, but that'll be everyone will get lubed up for that in anticipation of the Fitties. Official survey link coming soon. We're putting the categories together. So much happened in 2021 because nothing happened in 2020 that this shit is fucking jam-packed, and
I feel like
there's going to be a lot of tough choices for you guys. I'll tell you that
Fitties,
much.
we're not even done like putting them together. We're not even done like making the form and promoting it and doing social media around it. This is like
This is going to be a big deal. This is like
we're putting more work into this than like
Yeah, this is
anything
fun
else?
though. This is a fun one, and the participation last year was so. Honestly, bro, it is truly like we could sell it as a white paper because it is the ultimate consumer like snapshot of like what the actual fucking like movers and shakers in terms of like consumers with good taste level. Obviously, everyone listening to this, it's what you guys actually believe
for show. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Hug a homie today. Hold their hand.
Yeah.
Drink some Budweisers. Go out and enjoy yourselves this wonderful weekend.
This has been the only podcast that matters, and we love you so goddamn much. We'll see you next week.
Chef, hit the music.